What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Kim, give me some story time music. So guys, you know, I don't give many people my WhatsApp number to stop the show. I don't really trust y'all like that. And I don't even like accepting most of y'all on Facebook. And I end up ignoring y'all messages because y'all are annoying. Hit me up on Patreon if it's that important. But anyways, my man Sonny Bravo, shout out to the Sonny Bravo YouTube channel. Give him a round of applause. You know, our brother just got monetized, so check him out on the first comment at the top. He hit me up, man, with a video about Boyce Watkins. And you know, Boyce Watkins, Boyce Watkins is kind of passive aggressive, if you will. He's not a very controversial person directly, but he is. And shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins. He got married to Alicia Watkins. I know that we trolled him a little bit here in the Metal Script, but Dr. Boyce Watkins, we agree to disagree on certain things, but I can't disrespect his drive, the educational achievement. He was a professor and stuff like that. PhD in finance, economics, something like that. So I don't, we meet people like Boyce Watkins in the black community. The problem is that Boyce Watkins is a little bit biased, and this is the reason why a lot of black men on social media don't like him. And it's not that he attacks people directly, but his thought processes are what I believe is the old guard and kind of antiquated, and what keeps the black community behind. Now, a little bit about Boyce Watkins. If I'm not mistaken, Boyce Watkins is from Louisville, Kentucky, right? And Boyce Watkins was born to a mother who was 17 years old. Now, according to Boyce Watkins, the father of his father was not there. So she ended up marrying some other man, okay? And this man was a Vietnam War veteran. He took Boyce under his wing, and he's the man that he considers to be his father, all right? So I want to lay the background for that. And a lot of us, if we really want to talk about it, a lot of us have been under something that's a similar circumstance. My grandfather kind of stepped in. I had men in my church that step in. We have brothers that taught boxing in the black community, brothers that taught football. That coach football, coach basketball. So we all understand that in communities where we don't have a lot of resources, that, men have historically stepped up in the black community and tried to help out kids that were not theirs. Okay? But what's happening, especially in the last 10 years, maybe the last 5 years here on the social media, even the black manosphere community, the black men are starting to ask a question. What is in it for me? Okay? What's in it for me? And what is in it for me taking care of someone else's kids or dating single mothers or marrying single mothers? Now, Boyce Watkins had a stream just the other night, and we'll show that screenshot here. And around the 36-minute mark, he talks about his experience, right? And the name of the stream is called "How Do Women Mark Their Territory at a Man's House?" And he said that, for black men who talk about not wanting to, take care of people's kids or, dealing with their kids, he says, well, these kids are the future. So if you don't want to step up and deal with these children, you don't like the black community. You know what, Boyce? I think you're wrong on that, brother. I really think you're wrong, because you even contradict yourself a little bit, and you talk about your experience at the University of Indiana. Okay, I want to deal with that. Brother Boyce was at the University of Indiana, where I believe he met his wife, but they were not dating at that time. I don't know if it was the University of Indiana, University of Kentucky, somewhere. But somehow he said that his wife at the University of Indiana, at least, that a lot of guys wanted to talk to her. But she didn't like the Pookie and Ray Ray types of men. She wanted an academic black man. And he mentioned that a lot of black women in America like the wrong type of men. Okay? So Boyce Watkins, since you have admitted that, what is in it for a black man? And you have a lot of black women out there that have children by men who don't appreciate hard-working black men. They have babies by men who don't appreciate good black men. What is the incentive for these men to deal with these women and their children? Okay? What is the incentive? See, that's the problem, because you're giving women a way to bail out. Okay? Because while I do agree that, we have to look out for people in the community, the question is, why isn't the black community telling these young women before they make the mistake that you don't need to get pregnant by a man that won't be there for your child? Okay? And then you go so far as to call guys who don't want to deal with single mamas immature. Boyce Watkins, do you know you're a finance expert. See, this is what I don't understand. This is a man that has taught at Syracuse University. He has a PhD. He's a finance expert. You tell me, Boyce Watkins, what is the financial incentive for a black man who automatically already doesn't even make that much money in America, on average, to take care of a child, invest money into a child that is not his? What does that do with his wealth? What does that do for his earning potential? You're a finance expert, right? I'll tell you, you cannot tell me anything that benefits him. Because why? It's the job of the father that the lady laid down with. And see, until you start telling the women in the black community, do not have babies by men that are not going to be there, then that problem is going to persist. And if black men keep doing that, like we have been doing for the last 50 years, the black community ain't going to get no better. You have to let people fail. I'm sorry. Like Brother Obsidian says, black women are not too big to fail. Black men ain't too big to fail. And until black men love the black community enough that you're going to raise some standards in this thing, no, the answer is no. You have children by another man? No. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because there's too many good black women who ain't got no damn kids. See, again, Boyce Watkins, and the thing about the black manosphere, it's not that we hate single moms or anything like that. It's not the case. The real situation is we're more in favor of women that will bring less of a financial distraction to the marriage or to the relationship. The black manosphere is in support of women that don't have children. We're more in support of women who are doing the right things, because why? These women don't ever get they're underserved. The black women that are out there in America that are don't get pregnant, do the right thing. You know what the black community tells them? The black community almost tells them you don't exist. You don't exist until you have a kid. You're not a strong black woman until you make some mistakes and then overcome them. See, y'all forget about the black women out there who don't have children. And unless they going through something, or struggle love, or struggle single parenthood, then they can't really reach womanhood. That's ridiculous. Because the black men need to be more focused on the women that they can actually build a relationship with. All right? I'm not saying that there are not good women out there that don't have children. What I'm saying is, what is incentive for the man? Like, you're saying what the men have to do in the community to do. What do the women have to do? Why is it always that the men have to give everybody else all their resources? What is the incentive if men keep for them to change? They will continue to go out, get pregnant by guys. Then here comes some guys like you who are telling black men that they need to go and take care of these kids, all for the black community. See, we got to get rid of liabilities in the black community. That's a big thing. Okay? Because see, if we're not careful, and I'm going to tell you black men like this, stop hanging around folk. That's a liability. I don't care if it's a man or woman. Okay? Certain people are liabilities in our community. We cannot grow running after investing in liabilities. Liabilities got to be dropped. We can only grow when we invest in the people that have the best potential. The folk who are already showing a track record of doing the right thing. That's who we need to help. And then when people start to realize that, we're not going to get bailed out for our decisions in the black community, we got to hold ourselves accountable, we got to stop being a liability to the community we say that we love, then that's when it'll get better. Because if you love the black community, you won't be out there getting pregnant. You won't be out there being a liability to your grandma. You won't be a liability out there to your mama and them having to watch your kids while you go to the club. Same thing for the black men. You're not going to be out there shooting and robbing in your community. You're not going to be a liability to your community. You're going to bring resources to it. And the best way to bring resources to it is to not have children out of wedlock you can't take care of. Because if you really love the black community in the first place, you will do your best to try to add resources and not take away from the people you say you love. And as a pro-black, this is the message that we got to stand on. We cannot accept our people being liabilities to our community anymore. We cannot do it. Women must be held accountable. Men must be held accountable. We cannot be out here telling black men, you're pathetic for not wanting to deal with women, single mothers with kids. What about the other communities that are successful? How did the Indian community in America look at it? Look at the Nigerian American community. All the communities that are doing very well disagree with Boyce Watkins. The Jewish community. Every group who's doing better than the African American community disagrees, and you have a guy with a PhD that talks like this. This is why sometimes you have educated buffoons. Some folk have so much education that they're saying things that make no goddamn sense. And people only grow from the folk at the top. You invest in your top people. And if folk want to climb themselves out, that's up to them to do it. But we cannot be investing resources into people who are making mistakes. Liabilities in the community have to be dealt with less care. Because why? If you give a liability more attention, all they're going to do is continue to be a liability. The community can't grow. You grow when people meet a standard. You can't meet a standard when you bailing people out for making bad decisions because they want to make them. You know, the black community got to stop being a liability to itself. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains in an all-time high. Don't forget the Black Man Perfect t-shirts. I'm out.